Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Zombie, and this week we're going to talk about Zombies Anonymous from 2006. It's also under the title of Last Rites of the Dead. Now the year on this is important, being 2006, because it is very similar to American Zombie, which came out in 2007. I reviewed that on a different episode several months ago. And the good things that I had to say about American Zombie apparently were just stolen from Zombies Anonymous, because American Zombie came out 1 year later. So the way the story starts out, we're in a slightly different world than we know right now. People are dying and coming back to life as zombies. Not like roaming around in mobs, biting people, eating people, but kind of coming back, becoming coherent again, being dead physically, rotting, not at a reasonable pace, but, coming back as you are right now. Going, oh, shit, I'm dead. All right, well, what am I going to do? Well, I feel okay, so I guess I'll just go to work tomorrow. And that's pretty much what most of these people experience, unless they've had some kind of death, like trauma that takes their head off or something. And they do know, regardless if it's cancer or gunshots or being run over by a car, everybody comes back. The movie starts out with our introduction to Angela, who's played by Gina Ramsden, and she did a really good job. She's crouched up in the tub, crying and screaming, the door's locked, and her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, is pounding on the door. And he's doing the bipolar, let me in, how could you do this to me, fuck you, you're a bitch, banging on the door. And then following that with, I'm sorry, I won't hurt you, please let me in, please just open the door. You fucking bitch, open the door, how dare you. Riding this high and low of threatening and then, trying to play the victim, which I don't know. I think every one of us has known at least one jackass that has done this. I'm not that kind of guy, but I know a few that are. He eventually kicks the door open, and because he loves her so much, pulls out a pistol and shoots her in the fucking head. And that's how we meet her. And she comes back, and a good portion of this story is not your typical zombie film, where she's just trying to get along, because she's a zombie. But what else does she have? She has her job, she has her interests, and she's trying to adjust to a world that's really not ready to accept her, because everybody's, turning into zombies now, so we can't ignore them. And we see the debates they show us on television of, Congress is debating it, it's on the news, it's on the talk shows, and what do we do about the zombie problem? In this sense, I really think American Zombie stole a lot of this. This movie, I honestly think it did a little better because it wasn't done so silly. American Zombie tried to be silly with it. It was kind of just like a mockery of, haha, we're living and blah, 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 and these are our problems, and deal with it, and, zombie advocacy groups. And Zombies Anonymous took a different approach, where we do see zombies being abused. Of course, because they're different than us. And in this sense, and don't misunderstand where I'm coming from, I thought Zombies Anonymous was an okay film. It had some good points. To me, it had a couple of bad points, but it had a whole lot of drag. This movie seemed to me to be a lot longer than it needed to be. Angela's just trying to get by in a world that's being forced to deal with her and her type more and more, but less ready to accept. Because they're us, but they're different. And we do see television commercials aimed at, the zombies, like, hey, do you miss your natural-looking skin? Well, try some of this, crap away, and you'll look fantastic. Which I thought were kind of funny how it mocked the things we'll buy, because we'll buy anything. If you've seen the fucking egg wave lately on TV, or, the as seen on TV shit, you know what I'm talking about. So she's trying to adjust to a world. She's in a self-help group with a bunch of other zombies that are kind of funny, helping each other through being victimized and trying to find better answers and going out of their way to do normal people things. For example, eating donuts, which makes them all sick, but they do it because it's what normal people do, and we're still normal people. We see factions kind of pop up out of this group. One guy just takes off at the group. He's like, fuck this. This isn't right. And he makes his own little side group. Turns out there's a growing, not so much gang, well, I guess it could be gang, but small militia against zombies, led by a woman, I believe, called the Commandant, Krista McNamee. It was really good. She reminded me of a few ex-girlfriends of mine. Just fucking furious and constantly yelling, and she leads a small militia of people that just want to kill and embarrass and strip any sort of dignity out of the dead. Keep off our streets, stay out of our town, but not just beating people up, but purposefully finding them, butchering them, and showing them being butchered for all to see to keep the others out. To me, it was a little unnecessary because they didn't really give us a backstory on why she hated the dead so much, but she was furious. She wanted nothing. They were almost the same kind of anger. Okay, the same kind of anger you see with like the Westboro Baptist Church, going to soldiers' funerals and, the whole, their message and the anger and the indignation. It's the same kind of thing with Krista. And she really did a fine job in this film. Who should join this group? But of course, Angela's boyfriend. They're trying to get initiated in him and some of his buddies. And these guys are a bunch of posers. They're like, well, no, I've never really killed anybody, and, but I don't like them. These are just losers that want to be part of a group. What we've done is we've taken, I didn't do this shit, but Mark Fratto, the writer, director, took a bunch of movie elements we already have around us in movies all the time. The kids trying to fit in, the people that are kind of ostracized, maybe being a bit different. I mean, you could easily substitute zombie in this movie for gay, foreign, nerd. I'm just thinking of subjects that we've tackled on this review as of lately. I mean, anything that would have made you different from the average Joe standing next to you, whatever it was, anything, you could have substituted for zombie, because the rest of these examples I gave are just regular people, just trying to get by and live their life and do their bullshit and just, be human. Like any other movie, we've just turned this into a zombie thing. And of course, then we have the, people wanting to get in the gang. In fact, this smacks me dead on of Savage Streets. If you haven't seen Savage Streets, you need to, because Linda Blair has good stuff. But it's no different than Savage Streets, and any other gang. You know what? No. Any other white gang. Let's be honest. Every time there's a gang or a group or a club that's up to no good, and it's run by a bunch of white people, they have some crazy initiation where they're like, oh, you're in or you're out. And it doesn't involve you getting your ass beat down. But but Bloods and Crips and other street gangs, yeah, you know what? You're one of them, and they will beat the fuck out of you to get in. So let me rephrase this. This is the Savage Street style white gang where, you know what? We're going to go beat up a homeless man, and then you're in. And then we have this patch and a handshake you got to learn, and fucking ridiculous. Let's just be honest about it. So, and Vaughn, Comrade Vaughn, I'm glad you called me a communist. That's just for Vaughn. And you had me fucking laughing. And I knew the second you hit it, what exactly you were talking about. I fucking laughed. So, hey, thanks for listening anyway, comrade. And your beard, by the way, you're looking like a leader yourself from some red country. So that's what this was. And kind of people is trying to get along. And of course, we have the average Joe who sees zombies getting beat up and spit on and fucked with to try to come to their aid. And the zombies, of course, it could be facing discrimination, like, of course, I said, like, minority / gay / nerd / whatever, people not wanting to hire them. And Angela's desperate fight to be a human still. Because unlike the rest of the zombies, I mean, they're all fucked up looking, and she still, because she can style her hair in a way to where she looks absolutely normal, minus being a little extra veiny in the face and a little blue, but she fixes that up with that cream. So she's still really pretty. So she kind of is on the fringe of, she's on the edge of, can I still be normal? Can I pass as normal? Which, again, we find anything not perfect, the rest of us have to kind of fake it and skim by. You know what I mean? So this goes on. They fight. Her boyfriend's gang go to expel him, and finally he goes, because he's calling her. He wants to get back together with her, even because he's fucking crazy. I killed you. Now you're back. I want to be back with you now. And she wants nothing to do with him, and rightly so. So in the end, he brings the gang down to her and the support group for a fucking massacre. Now, She's also been met, I should say before I go too far into this, by the fringe guy that took off from the support group, met up with a bunch of zombies. They're, hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let's be what we are. And these are actually people that eat the flesh of regular people. And it makes them feel strong. It gives them power. And in this sense, this is their version of the gang, doing what we would expect zombies to do. Angela's like, hey, that's not what I want to do. And she's, of course, abducted by this group, and they try to inject her with so much blood from living human flesh that it kind of pulls her over the divide, and she has to be one of them now. The zombie killing gang shows up, abducts all of the support group, butchers most of them, and this is where the movie flips for me. Because it went from being kind of like a how do I fit in story, odd man out, to suddenly this weird just everybody's gun, because suddenly everybody has a gun because zombie army shows up. Everybody's gun has about 50 or 60 shots in it, and everybody starts killing everybody. The zombies that we've come to know in this film and the militia people that we've come to know all pretty much kill each other minus a few, and the commandant. And the commandant does something totally out of character because she despises the dead. She cuts her hair, dyes it so it's now red, and you know what? She's pretty. So she's prettied herself up, takes a gun, blows her brains out, which seemed kind of the dumb thing to do to me, because her goal now, for some reason, because the army's been hurt, militia's been decimated, she's going to turn herself into a zombie and look all pretty and help me, please somebody help me, and this other zombie gang will take her in, and then she can be one of them, or at least get in on the inside. So instead of shooting herself in the chest, killing her, coming back as a zombie, she actually shoots herself in the head, risking blowing her brains out and not being able to return at all, and I think that was a mistake on the writer and director's part. You could have gotten away much easier with a shot to the chest, but it is what it is. As she comes back, they find her, they take her back, and they're in the process of helping her revive, and she just starts to kill them all. So again, the final countdown, the final matchup comes down to Angela and the commandant. And, of course, Angela comes out victorious. And she gets to kill her ex-boyfriend in the process. It fucks him up real nice. The last 35, 40 minutes, because this is a full-length film, the last 35, 40 minutes seemed really, really drawn out to me. I understand what they were trying to do, and I appreciate that they did it first with Zombies Anonymous before American Zombie. And to be honest, I didn't like American Zombie, but the only good things I had to say about it were the things they pretty much stole from Zombies Anonymous. So good job to Mark Fratto and cast. This was well acted, minus a couple. And if you go to the IMDb page, I'm not shitting you, there's like 400 people in this fucking film. It's ridiculous. And they're not really ordered in any special way that I can tell. So this was produced nicely. It was filmed pretty well. I have very few complaints about it aside from length and obvious stretching towards the end, and the flip that they kind of ditched the plot and just went for a kill fest. I don't like any movie where somebody fires 40 shots out of their fucking pistol, never once reloads, or shoots 40 shots and never actually hits the target. That bugs me, but that's been the trend for a while. I'm a better shot than that. I don't mind saying it. How this matches up on our Berdinsky scale, be it a buy it, borrow it, or just forget it. This movie, rates a borrow. I can't envision anybody that isn't in this movie, of the 400 I see, or someone related to somebody in this film would want to buy it. It's certainly a rental. Check it out on Netflix. That's where I found it. So it is a borrow. And don't forget, in a couple of weeks, McPierce and I will be doing Revenge of the Nerds Part 2, Nerds in Paradise. We will spend some time discussing the Hotel Coral Essex. That's for sure. And no on 15. No on 15. See ya.